Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Conceptual Genetics and Breeding. In today's video, we will discuss about GATT. What is GATT? GATT is the General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade. Basically, these were the first efforts on the global level to manage the trade and to generalize the trade between the countries at international level. Okay, so we will discuss the introduction of GATT, basically the general things, the general rules we can say, which were established by the GATT at international level. So first of all, what is GATT, or General Agreements on Tariffs and Trade? So first of all, what is tariff? Tariff is a tax or duty to be paid on a particular class of imports or exports. So when we do imports and export, there are certain duty or certain taxes which we have to pay on import and export. So tariffs are all those taxes, means collectively we can say they are tariffs. So these are the general agreements which were negotiated in 1947 and first enforced in 1948. So basically among the countries, the signatory countries, these were the rules, general rules or general agreements we can say, which were negotiated in 1947, means they came to existence in 1947 and they came to rule or they enforced in 1948. So after that many years they were modified and amended according to the requirements. Okay, so according to the change in the business, we can say the global business, these were changed, these agreements or these rules were changed and amended. So first of all, when these were enforced and the 1947 when they came into existence, 23 countries signed these agreements. Okay, then after World War II they became a law on January 1, 1948. So what was the purpose of GATT? So the purpose of GATT was to make international trade easier. So basically before World War II there were we can say the rules were not exist. The rules which govern the international trade, means there were no harmonization between the countries and no specific rules were there, no specific tariffs were there. Okay, means there was no regulation on the tariffs, means it was it was dependent on the country to country, means how much tariffs they are imposing on the export there. I means if another country want to do business there, means it was not regulated at all, means with these GATT the international trade become easier and the rules were enforced, means all the countries, the signatory countries especially, they were follow the same rule for international trade. Okay, for international business. So after that, after so many years, in 1995 the GATT was absorbed into World Trade Organization, means after that in 1995 GATT was resolved and after that new body was formed, it was World Trade Organization. So now we will discuss some of the important aspect of GATT, means what were the various principles of general agreements on tariffs and trade. So GATT was created to form rules to end or restrict the most costly and undesirable features of the pre-war protectionist period. So basically after World War II we can say, or before World War II, it was like no regulation at all at the international level. So basically it was created to make some rules, like to follow these rules the countries, they will be able to like do business more easily and without any objections or the discrepancies. So basically to resolve the issues between the countries and to make the business more easier between countries, the GATT was created. Basically, these they are known as quantitative trade barriers. So basically, before the World War II, that period is known as pre-war protectionist period, and here many undesirable features were there. If you are going to do international trade, then you have to follow these undesirable features, and it was very like variable. The trade were the tariffs were variable from country to country. So these are known as quantitative trade barriers. So these barriers were such as trade control and quotas. So basically on the trade, on the market, there was control of some powerful countries at that time. So these are known as quantitative trade barriers. So to remove or to resolve these barriers, the GATT was created. These agreements also provided a system to arbitrate commercial dispute among nations. So basically, GATT offered the help, okay, to resolve the issues between countries. So means in between trade, for the trade, if there are some dispute between the countries, then GATT offered help to resolve all those issues among the nations. So it covers international trade in goods. Basically, GATT, General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade, it covers international trade in goods. And also GATT enabled a number of multilateral negotiations for the reduction of tariff barriers. So GATT worked in the field of reducing the tariffs, reducing the taxes when one country is going to trade in another country. Okay, the GATT was regarded as a significant success in the post-war years. So after World War II, GATT worked in the field of this trade, international trade in goods, and these framework, these agreements worked in negotiation for the reduction of tariffs among the countries. And the working of GATT agreement are the responsibility of the Council for Trade in Goods, which is made up of representative from all WTO member countries. So now GATT has been resolved into WTO. So basically from all the WTO member countries there are representative, and all those representative made the Council for Trade in Goods, and all the working of GATT now is the responsibility of this council. So the achievements, certain achievements were there and certain principles were there in the GATT. So the one achievement was that the trade without discrimination, and this is the principle of one of the principle of GATT also. So the key principle of the GATT was to make the trade without discrimination. Means one country should not take more benefit or another country was not like depressed. All should be equal and all the rules should be equal in all the member countries. So basically every signatory member of the GATT was to be treated as equal to any other. And this principle is known as most favored nation principle. What is this known as? Most favored nation principle. So in this, no country was up or no country was on low. All the countries, all the signatory member were to be treated as equal. Means all have to follow the rules which were created by the GATT. And this is known as most favored nation principle, and this is most important principle, and it has been carried through into the WTO also. So this is also the one of the principle of WTO now, because now GATT has been converted into WTO. So a practical outcome of GATT was that once a country has negotiated a tariff cut with some other countries, usually its most important trading partner, this same cut would automatically apply to all the GATT signatories. Means if country A has negotiated certain rules and certain tariff with country B, so all the member countries they will also follow the same cut or same tariff. So it is equal in all the countries. Okay, some escape clause also exists, means if A has negotiated with B with some rules and conditions, okay, and all the other countries also have to follow these rules according to GATT. But GATT gave provisions that if this country C do not want to follow these rules, means if this have some objection with these rules, then this country may escape. Okay, means some escape clauses also exist, means this country can oppose that I do not want to follow these rules. Okay, whereby countries could negotiate exceptions if their domestic producers would be practically harmed by tariff cut. So the meaning of this sentence is, means if A and B has been like working with each other, has been done, are doing business with each other, and they have negotiated certain rules. Okay, but if these rules they are like according to GATT, other countries C, D, E, F, these should have to follow these rules. Okay, because it is the provision. But if this country C, it is expecting that these rules they will harm their local businessmen, or we can say their domestic products, so they can make an opposition and they can oppose that these rules are harmful to their country's people, their country's businessmen, or their country's product, so they can escape from those rules. Okay, on the basis of those exceptions are there, means they can negotiate that they are not able to follow these rules because these rules will harm their domestic producers. Okay, so escape are also exist, means on the basis of some strong ground you can oppose also. Okay, so most nations they adopted the most favored nation principle in setting tariffs, which largely replaced the quotas. Means now each country it is treated equal to other country. Means if rules are followed by A and B, then other countries will also follow these rules. But and they adopted the most favored nation principle. Okay, because it was this principle it removed the quotas of the strong countries basically at that time. The countries who wanted to regulate the entire international market, this most favored nation principle it replaced all those quotas. So these are some of the important we can say principles and the achievements of the GATT. So in 1964, GATT began to work towards curbing predator pricing policies, and these policies are known as dumping. Basically, they began to attack the global issues at that time. What are the global issues in the international trading, and what are the different difficulties which are different countries facing at that time? Okay, so this policy is known as dumping policy. Okay, and also they began to work on the intellectual property rights. The GATT also worked on the intellectual property rights, and they negotiated several meetings, they did several meetings in different years, basically to reduce the tariff, and the average tariff rate fall from 22%. It was 22% earlier, the international tariff, when GATT was first signed in Geneva in 1947, and after so many years in 1993 when GATT was concluded. Okay, it was around 5%, means the tariffs were reduced from 22% to 5% after several negotiation in the GATT. Okay, and after that in 1995 GATT was replaced by WTO. So this is all about GATT, the working of GATT, what are the principles of GATT, and why GATT was created early in the 1947. So I hope this all is clear to all of you now. Thank you so much.